Hey, how's it going? My name's Jordan Zaviter. You've probably seen me in the discussion posts. Um, but yeah, let's hop right into it. The book I decided to do my reflection on for this course was Ecclesiastes. And the reading was framed to take it more from a Jewish perspective. And I mean, I found that interesting. But I mean, as myself as a Catholic, we also or ascribe a lot of value to this book as well. Um, and as I read it and got more into it, understood more about the book, it really dawned on me, the deeper meaning of it. As Christians, we we can often overlook the Old Testament and the wisdom that's in it. And you know, I find myself flipping to Proverbs or maybe not Ecclesiastes, Proverbs or the Psalms every so often to find some deeper, reflection on some wisdom. But I never had delved into Ecclesiastes. So as I opened the book and read more into it, I really began to understand the deeper meaning attached to it, and it really spoke to me. Um, so to preface, one of the words that pops out the most in this book is the word vanity. And traditionally, when we think of the word vanity, in a Christian sense, we might come to the thought of pride or arrogance, or inflating one's ego. Thinking you're worth more than someone else due to your social situation, financial situation, whatever it may be. Um, but as I took a second look at it and looked more into the book, uh, I began to understand this isn't the word that I was thinking it was. The Hebrew translation of the word is the word hevel, and hevel means like mist or smoke, right? Something fleeting that's gone, right, in an instant. It's only there for a little bit of time and then it's gone. So the true idea of this word vanity, when we read it in the book, isn't, you know, this ego, this pride. It's instead fleeting, fleeting things, attaching our meaning to things that are fleeting, things that come and go. And, you think about it, what in life doesn't come and go, right? Almost everything. Like, I come and go, you come and go, our jobs, our school, work, whatever it might be, it it is temporary. So as I reflected on this, I kind of came to a more deeper internal reflection to myself. I was like, you know, one of the words in the book is toil, right? What am I doing in my with my toil that is preventing me from, I guess, really experiencing the of my own faith and my own relationship with God. So as I thought about this, I was like, okay, am I prescribing too much meaning to work? Like, my job is insurance, funny enough. So, you learn about these fleeting things all the time, right? I mean, my job is to help protect people in the event of an injury or a disability, or help them uh, with life insurance if they're trying to protect their family if something bad is to happen. And, you hear stories, you see it happen firsthand of people passing away, and, you know, tragically out of nowhere, and it's fleeting, right? Nobody knows what's going to happen, but that's the importance of the protection. So, I think it was really important and eye-opening for me to give this book a deeper read. So as I went into it, I reflected on my own work, and I was like, yeah, am I prescribing too much meaning to this job? And, it turns out I was, and I think a lot of us do. It's a modern capitalist idea to, you go to school for 4 years, you go and you get a career, and that's your life. But it's like, there is no guarantee that you're going to wake up the next morning and that's still going to be your career. You don't know. And there's no real way to know because it's in God's hands. So that idea kind of, resonated with me. I reflected on it for a while. And as I was writing the essay, I mean, it spoke to me even deeper. Like, what am I supposed to attach that meaning to? And I came to the conclusion that there is really no meaning that you can attach it to other than the meaning that God has for us in our own lives, right? Like he has a purpose, he has a path set up for every one of us, whether that's, to go and to do your career, to be a father, to be a mother, to, be a cool uncle. That's kind of where I'm at now. These are all things that he has assigned for us in our lives and roles he wants us to live out. But those roles can be temporary. So it's not a matter of assigning the meaning to those roles, but instead filling the shoes of those roles as a way of worshiping and showing your trust and your faith in God, right? Let God be the underlying meaning behind why you do the things you do. And yeah, this was just a beautiful reflection to me to have on my own life and my own understanding of my own self-worth. And it comes to this idea of identity as well, right? Like we identify so much with what we do, right? Like somebody asks you, I was talking to a man once, a client of mine. He was like, we all are trying to fill these ideas of identities, right? Like who are you, right? Oh, I work in insurance. I help people with their finances. Oh, well, I take care of my kids. I'm this, I'm that. And it's, at the end of the day, who are we? And I think the only person that can really answer that is God, right? Because God has known us even before we can remember, before we even had a semblance of long-term memory to recall, right? Like he says he's formed us in the womb. He's known us before we were even born. So as I reflected on that more, I actually ended up, separate from the essay, diving into this idea of the dark night of the soul. And this was a concept kind of highlighted by St. John of the Cross. And it really touches on that, that very aspect of like our identity and who we are, right? Our ego, how we relate to those things, and the struggle that comes along with that, right? Feeling, maybe detached from God, feeling like, questioning. But, the true meaning is to be derived from that relationship. So, in conclusion, I think the biggest thing I drew from this whole reading was to make sure that I am finding my identity in Christ, finding who I am through him. Because in reality, right, you can go to my LinkedIn profile and see what I do for work. You can go to my Facebook page and read up on, insurance, but is that really who I am? The only person who knows who I am, who you are, who all of us are as an individual is God, right? And, ourselves as well. But even then, it can be hard to know ourselves. And we are constantly drowning ourselves out with, other fleeting things like social media or, TV, movies, things that at the end of the day, when the show ends, you have to go back to living your own life in your own shoes. You might try to find another way to distract yourself, but you have to learn how to sit with you and understand you. And I think the thing that helped me do that the most was not assigning my meaning to the things that are going to come and go, but instead having a deeper understanding, meaning, and reflection through God's understanding of me. So yeah, thank you all for just sitting and listening. I hope, my reflection had maybe spoke to you a little bit. If not, that's completely cool. I look forward to reading your comments. And yeah, everyone, have a blessed day. Thank you.